joined by our friends whose live coverage of ground racing will end as Marino Michels makes a great start to the night, winning 4 legs to 1. He picks up the 2 points, and he does join Scott Marsh on 6 points. When we come back, it is Scott Marsh in action against James Hurrell.
Finesse taking on McDonald next. It means 4 players could be tied on the same number of points at the top. However, Marsh has different ideas as he goes for tops for the 120 finish, and he notches it with aplomb. Treble, single, double. He's climbed the ladder again. 82. The ball found. Double 16 for the match.
And
Marsh is clear at the top of the table. He gets the better of James Hurrell by 4 legs to 3. 4-0 win. And to start the charge for Sean McDonald. A 4-0 win it is. And Sean McDonald's luck has changed on Friday, it seems, in the Super Series. A superb performance out the gate. A 98.56 average. 2 maxims to his name. 4 out of 9 when it came to the finishing. Ryan Finesse had a couple of opportunities to win a couple of legs, but nothing to be for him. McDonald a 4-0 victor. And after the break, James Hurrell in desperate search of a win now against Marino Michels.
I'm enjoying just working rather than doing anything else. I'd like to say I was counting my money, but unfortunately I've been spending it.
Well, Hurrell could have counted himself out the equation if he loses this match. He leaves himself on 60 points to win the match. He's going to get 2 at tops to complete the job and a potential 11 dart leg. He's not going to do it in 12. And Michels is on a finish after 9 himself.
96.
So for the match, Hurrell wants tops for 4-1 victory. And a 4-1 win it is for James Hurrell to move himself onto 6 points and to quickly get over the disappointment of the last leg decided defeat against Scott Marsh. A 90.19 average, only a couple of points off the 90.24 he had in the first game. 4 out of 8 on the doubles. Things looking a little bit more smooth for the hillbilly Marino Michels. That good start has just been undone. Right, next up, McDonald against Marsh. It's double 2. It's victory for Sean McDonald with a 14 dart leg by 4 legs to 3. And it moves him into second place in the table. Remember, he was bottom of the pile at the beginning of the night. But back-to-back performances where he's averaged high in the 90s means that he has put himself in a real good position to qualify. It's a congealed and congested group here in Group B. And we're halfway through the night and we are none the wiser. Coming up after the break, Ryan Finesse against James Hurrell.
That's true.
125.
You can tell his frustration with the last start there. He's left himself on a makeable finish on the 106, but look at what Finesse is going to leave by way of reply against the darts.
130. James Hurrell 106.
He had a pop at the 108, didn't he? Well, at least this time. Going to get a double to win it. And the double is double 18, and it lands, and James Hurrell does pick up the spoils in this one. 4 legs to 2, an average of 90.12. That seems to be the metric number for him this evening. Couple of 180s in there. Some tidy finishing, 4 from 9, and especially tidy to get over the line with the 106. Up next, it's Sean McDonald against Marino Michels. Doesn't have to move. And that's why had a clear line in on tops.
He lost his first 3 games, all by a margin of 4 to 3. And double 12 for the most convincing 4-0 of victories. 60 darts for Sean McDonald to get the job done. That is picture-perfect consistency for the Punisher. 4 out of 7 on the finishing, 100.2 the end average. And the man who started the night at the bottom of the table now finds himself at the summit. But for how much longer? Because Scott Marsh is in action after the break against Ryan Finesse. Finesse would then have the darts to see it out. And for Marsh, it's a dart at double top.
Scott Marsh.
And Finesse has the throw to seal the job. And well, this is to send him through. Goes the bullseye route so he can guarantee himself as Finesse nods in the background. A dart at the bullseye. And that would have been enough. So Finesse comes back to finish with a win. To finish on 6 points. And following a positive start, it was a mid-group wobble that paid for Ryan Finesse in the end. But he rounds things off with a win. Getting the better of Scott Marsh by 4 legs to 2. 1 of 10 on the finishing and an average of 85.7. For Scott Marsh, he's still got to wait his fate as Hurrell and McDonald go toe-to-toe after this short break. Doesn't find his manner at tops.
Game on the 4th leg, Sean
But that was
McDonald.
academic thinking. He's won 3 legs in this game, Sean McDonald, and they've all been in 14 darts.
For Sean McDonald. Double 10. Well,
Game shot. And
we love
Sean
a bit of
McDonald.
symmetry, and it is the perfect 10. Hitting double 10 because he moves to 10 points and plus 10 on the leg difference, an end average of 99.56 for Sean McDonald. The 80 to, what was it, 80 to 1 outsider to win Group B has done just that. When we come back, it'll be the final game. Moreno Michels against Scott Marsh.
Moreno,
And put Hurrell out.
44.
Marsh is batting for Hurrell. Michels is looking for a ton topper. He's looking for double 12. Oh, yes. And he knows the significance of that finish.
You require 56.
Yeah, would have thought so.
Game on
We
the 3rd
can't,
leg,
of course,
Moreno
divulge
Michels.
that information, but that's the choice. Looks like he's going straight for it. Oh, he split.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
It's the right call. 2-2.
94. Moreno require 52.
3-2, and to put Hillbilly on the hill in terms of elimination.
Good guide, that.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Moreno
3-2, Michels. To put him in. To send him through. For a date with Saturday night.
99.
The tops goes just above.
108.
And so Marsh comes back for 3-3. And to help the Hillbilly.
88.
Drag just below. And so Michels
Moreno, you require
to
40.
move through to tomorrow night's final. He wants double 10.
Game
And it
shot.
will be
And
Moreno who
Moreno
makes the
Michels.
final show as he gets the better of Scott Marsh by 4 legs to 2. And it's going to be the Hillbilly James Hurrell that's going to miss out in the end. 4-2 victory for Moreno Michels against Scott Marsh rounds off the evening action. And from the 80 to 1 bottom place outsider to the top of the table, Sean McDonald is the player possibly to beat going into tomorrow night on what has been a historic day at the Super Series as Fallon Sherrock became the first ever female player to hit a televised 9-dart finish. It's been a day of history here at the Live Lounge, and there's one final thing to do. Grab some analysis.
Yeah, really impressive from Moreno Michels. A few nerves there as he tried to get over the line. He knew the significance of that match, that's for certain. What aspects of his game were you best pleased with today?
I just think the way he just stuck in and held on. He was fully aware he had to win that, at least 4-2 or better. Well, sad for James Hurrell, obviously, because he's the unlucky loser in that scenario. But yeah, all credit to Moreno. He had to stick in. It was a real tough group. Went all the way down to the wire as we expected in a group that was this type.
Yeah, let's have a look then. Confirmation of tonight's results from our 10 games that have been played. Really interesting to see, actually, on James Hurrell's social media since his last match. He said, well, what a shame. I thought all I needed was the one leg. Must do better maths.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a blessing and sometimes it isn't to know what you need to do. I think in the case of Moreno in that final game, it was a blessing for him because, you know, it was pretty straightforward, 4-2 or better, and I'm in the finals night, and you could tell how much it meant to him to make tomorrow's finals night, because he certainly wasn't a player that we thought about on Monday morning that may find his way into tomorrow night, but he's done just that, and credit to him.
Yeah, confirmation then of the league standings in Group B, and it was the man who was 80-1 to top the table at the start of the night before a dart had been thrown, Sean McDonald, who ends the night on 10 points. Just sum up how impressed you have been with what he did on the oche and what he was saying up here as well, because very level-headed, and said he only gets to play darts one weekend a month. I wouldn't mind being able to do that.
Yeah, I said to Henry, I think if I played 7 days a week for 4 weeks a month, I don't think I'd be as good as him. But yeah, it's just the way he dealt with the disappointment of Thursday night, missing out 3 matches by the odd leg. It just showed great maturity and great tenacity to bounce back. But we said expect the unexpected in this group, and that's exactly how he played out. But he was superb tonight. I think he's averaged around 95 for the night, and he's going to be a big threat tomorrow night.
Yeah, head didn't drop last night at any point either, did it? And many players could learn a thing or two from that.
Yeah, and he said it was interesting that usually in last leg shootouts it's sort of his forte. And he didn't allow himself once to sort of, or poor me. He just turned up tonight, realised what he had to do, what he's got in the locker. And I think for a player that doesn't play very much, Thursday night was almost like a practice session from him. But we did say at the top, if he goes 4 out of 4, he wins the group, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, 6 players through to tomorrow's finals night. Then let's have a look at those groups and how the players will battle it out tomorrow. In Group 1, we've got John Henderson, Scott Baker and Scott Marsh. And then in Group 2, Moreno Michels, Fallon Sherrock and Sean McDonald. If you were to be in one, which one would you want to be in, Mace?
Not Fallon's. You know how much I enjoy playing a woman. Yeah, but I don't really want to be in Group 1 either, with John Henderson, Scott Baker and Scott Marsh in there. I think it's 2 fascinating groups, totally different dynamics in each group. We've got sort of the pace of Baker in Group 1, and sort of Hendo's not exactly slow, that's for sure. Scott Marsh is the sedate player in there, and McDonald the one in Group 2. It's going to be a fascinating finals night. Don't ask me to pick a winner. But if you do, I'll say John Henderson, just based on that experience. But it wouldn't surprise me. We know on Saturday nights anything can happen.
I love that you knew that that's where I was going. But today has, of course, been a history-making day here at the Super Series. Fallon Sherrock became the first female player to ever hit a 9-darter on TV. So we're going to leave you with that moment now.
Max.
180. 140.
Nearly followed by one of Lipscomb's own. And Sherrock is continuing upon a road towards perfection. That's a second max in succession. Never has it been done on television by a female player before. Fallon Sherrock wants treble 19. And now double 12 to become the first ever female player to hit a televised 9-dart finish. Fallon Sherrock is a history maker once again.